Hello, hello, all you beautiful souls of the Lightworkers app. We're here with Dr. David Silverman. So excited to have him here today. And he's going to tell us about some amazing technology and this really awesome product. It's a natural supplement. And it's helping so many people around the world. And there is so many medical doctors that are working with this product. And so I wanted to see what the hype is about. And we're doing some research with the biowell on this. And we're getting some really cool results. So I wanted to share this since it's really cool with all of you beautiful people. Dr. Silverman, thank you for being here and sharing your time with us. Please give us a little bit of bio about yourself and about this beautiful product that we're here about.
Sure, Nima. Thanks for having me here. And I loved hearing you sharing the results that you've seen, the biowell, because, that doesn't lie, and this is a remarkable breakthrough. And there are ways that people that don't have a biowell machine that can validate that it's real in a matter of minutes also. It's so incredible, but it's a breakthrough. My background is podiatry and foot surgery. I was board certified in foot surgery and foot orthopedics and primary pediatric medicine. I own my own practice in Maryland. And my own ambulatory surgery center, and I've sold my practice now. I'll be 62 in a couple of months. I'll be 62. I feel like I'm 25 because of this product. Wow. Thank you. And it's what I feel. We all want to live younger, longer. I mean, that's the dream of every human being ever. I want to live younger, longer, and you have the ability to do that now with this product. And the validating that it's real with live cell microscopy. With biowell, it's so nice to have these objective things where you can say, oh my God, it's real. But I got introduced to it about 12 years ago. It was brought to me by a friend, the liquid version of it, not the gel. The gel version didn't come out till several years later. And I looked at it for personal reasons for my father. He was ill. He had a pretty grave issue, type of issue no one wants to hear they have in any part of their body. But I saw a remarkable shift in him, and he's fine today. Referred people to my friend, thinking maybe it's a placebo, I don't know. And then I saw things happen like you see with the biowell. We realized it's not a placebo, right? And for me, that was a friend of mine had some skin lesions fall off of his body. And I'm like, okay, that's not a placebo. Those things have been there for decades. So remarkable breakthrough. And I'm glad you know about it now.
Yeah, and can you give us a little bit of information about what is this product? What is it made of? Yeah, it's a natural product. And from my understanding, it's just saline. It's just salt and water. But how is this, making all these amazing changes? Because with, for example, the biowell at our research center in Orlando, Florida, we test people. They come in and we work with different companies. They send us their products, and we have regular people come in from the city, and we do a baseline analysis or a scan of them, and then we have them just hold different products or test different products to see how we're able to in real time shift their energies. And one thing that's been mind-blowing to me is people come in and I scan them and I see shootout in their livers and their kidneys, which means there's a lot of overactivity and the body sending a lot of energy there to heal something there. So then I have them take a shot of this, and within 30 minutes, I scan them again, and you see these huge shifts in the kidneys and the liver as far as their energy goes. And it's just mind-boggling that how is this, salt and water is able to do such amazing work, but it doesn't stop there, because I have some other people that come in and they have, they just have feeling uneasy in their stomach, and then they take a shot at this, and all of a sudden they feel movements in the areas that they have these blockages or whatnot, and they're like, hey, we don't know what's going on. So I want you as a doctor to kind of shed some light of what's going on here, what's happening.
Well, so there's so many analogies I can give you, but people say, is this natural? It's more than natural. What's in this is it is redox signaling molecules, reductants and oxidants, negative and positive in the same vessel, which is thought to be impossible. But not only is it reductants and oxidants made from saline, made from 4 atoms, sodium, chloride, hydrogen, and oxygen, but it's identical to what's in us. Our cells make it in our mitochondria. But our mitochondria efficiency goes down at puberty, and we start producing less of these in our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. And you see what happens to us as we age. We heal slower after puberty. We start getting more health issues as we get older. You don't see so much in our 20s, but by 30s, 40s, people start seeing things happen. Our skin changes. But what it does is it amplifies signaling in the body. It makes it so that the cells can communicate. And it's very important for cells to talk to one another. if the communication breaks down, then when there's a cell that was healthy and now it's not healthy, it can't be replaced with a good one if the immune system doesn't hear the signal that there's a problem. So what this does is it amplifies signaling within the cell from the DNA. It increases genetic expression. Double-blind studies show that. But it amplifies signaling. It also raises glutathione levels. It's remarkable. But what's cool about it is it's in us. Our cells make it from saline. It's not saline anymore, but it's made from those 4 atoms: sodium, chloride, hydrogen, and oxygen, in different configurations other than sodium chloride and H2O, reductants and oxidants. But it's so safe. You can't be allergic to it. It's in us all, right? It doesn't interfere with medications. It's in us all. There's no toxicity to it. It's not like a pharmaceutical. Drugs, you take it and your liver has to metabolize it to get rid of it, or the toxicity builds up. This is not like that. If you drink more than you need, your body turns the excess back into saline. And people say, how could something so simple do that? I give you an example. Every morning I do like 500 crunches. I don't exercise. The only thing I do is do crunches. That's all I do.
Nice. Yeah, a 6-pack.
But I'm at the beach right now. I'm looking at the Atlantic Ocean. I've had a lot of fried chicken and pizza down here, but it's beside the point. So let's call it a 4-pack. But when I do the sit-ups, when I'm doing them, I'll do like 50, and then I'm running out of gas. And all I do is take a deep breath, and bang, I do another 50. And then I'm getting kind of out of it. And I'll take a deep breath, bang. It's oxygen, right? Look what oxygen can do to my body just by taking a breath. It's the simplest things in the world can do amazing things. And what, like you say, with the biowell, you can see the change. You take the gel version of this, which is marketed for anti-aging, right? You take pictures of your skin. By the way, you and I and Danielle are going to be at the FDA registered production facility about 48 hours from now.
Yes, I can't wait. I'm going to be here and actually testing and seeing the facility. I'm going to actually
see it all.
And the Sputnik to measure energy there. So I'm super, super excited.
I'm excited for you because you're going to be able to convey this to people, what you've seen. This is a biotech company, but you're going to see where these 2 bottles were filled as 2. But people that want to know what's real, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee on it. So I can't tell people how long it's going to take for them to have a result with this. It could be a day, it could be 90 days, but just stick it for 90 days. Stick with it. This, 10 minutes. And what you do is it's marketed for anti-aging, but you find 5, say 10 people that have something that hurts them, their neck, their back, their knee. You've seen this already. And you're going to do a 10-minute test. 10 minutes. All they do is shake it up. They put it on 3 times in the first 5 minutes. And then they assess their level of discomfort when they start, and they assess it again 10 minutes later. And it's pretty amazing what happens to almost every single person. 9 out of 10. It's like, my God, and they could be negative people. Again, that's still subjective, but 9 out of 10 is pretty tremendous. You with the biowell, people can measure it. And when people see the change, they're like, okay, I'm getting on this product forever. I'm not getting off this stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sorry, Danielle. I didn't get a chance to introduce you. Danielle is here with us as well, and she's such an amazing, beautiful soul, and she's the one that's been guiding us and supporting us to be able to understand more of this science. And she actually has a personal story with this. But before getting there, I wanted to just share something about the cream that you just showed and rubbing it on the neck. So one thing that I've realized is when people come to us and when I scan them and I see their chakras is out of alignment, that usually means that their sympathetic parasympathetic system is out of balance. And once I go and I rub this on the vagus nerve or on their neck, within 5 to 10 minutes, you see the energy centers come back in. And that's just been so fascinating to really, and they feel the stress that just being released from them. And that was something that I thought it was really cool to mention as well. And I have actually used it on a few people that I would see their pineal gland, their third eye, that's been it's not very active, it's more calcified. And I've rubbed it right on there for just the way you said, 3 times under 5 minutes. And I've seen up to 1 joule of energy added into their pineal. And I mean, it's mind blowing. And they feel that sharpness in their head. They feel that tingling right here. So that's why I really want to come there and kind of see what is going on here. I love it.
That's wonderful. I know when we met, Nima, I got so excited because like I've seen what David's talking about. We've seen this now for 8 years myself. He's seen it for longer, but it's like each person has something different going on. Like each of us has damage in a different area in our system. And this goes in and it just identifies where that damaged cell for you is and helps it repair. And so when you told me about your machine, I was like, oh, this is going to be fun because your machine picks up where each person has something off. And I thought, all right, well, this is going to be a fun thing to play with and see what we can do. And it was just like immediate, and I'll never forget that first
like an hour and a half, and she came to our center, and it was so cool to actually be able to do the live research and see it in real time and see how exciting people get. So that was really, really cool. One thing I want to ask you, one thing you mentioned in one of your videos, that sometimes what I notice is that some people that they look pretty good in their biofield, and then once they take a shot, and this is in some cases, then all of a sudden I see that their entire system starts to go like kind of like extremely like go into work, and it starts to like you see all the like the liver, the kidney, your genital, like everything starts to become really active. And in that moment, people feel a little bit nauseous. So you used an example that just made so much sense to me, using an aquarium, and how when you go and shift the sand at the bottom, that how it influences that environment. If you could kind of like shed some light on that to see like what is really happening in the system when this is happening, and why are they feeling a little bit maybe nauseous in some cases?
Well, I'll let Danielle answer that because she knows, and it's less than 10% of people that happens to, and it has to do with detox and cleansing. But Danielle, you want to hit that?
Sure. Yeah. To me, this is the most exciting because it's someone that has an immediate response. And so the system, right, when it's identifying these damaged cells, what happens? Well, they get killed off, they get carried out in our lymph system, and our lymph system has to drain it. And I know that, David actually always shares, like after a massage, right? What do they tell you to do? They tell you to drink water because things have been pushed out into your lymph system and need to drain. Glutathione, this antioxidant that is a master antioxidant in our system, it also is very good at detoxifying your body. And so we know that levels go up of that. And so your system can go into a detox, which I think of it like it's a healing crisis, right? The system is going, okay, I've just identified all these things that shouldn't be here. And now I need to flush them out. And so people might experience, that they're feeling a little nauseous. They might get a rash on their body. They might be having to go to the bathroom more. They might get a little foggy headed, but it's a small percentage of people that actually feel it. Because typically when somebody starts, we also have them drink more water. So the system can flush it out and they don't actually notice these feelings of detoxification. But to me, it's the most exciting thing because I'm like, oh, well, your body is responding very quickly. And clearly you really, really need this. And you're going to be on the other side of it, before you know it. Usually it lasts a couple of days.
This smell was really fascinating to me, that, some people, they smell the bottle and it smells like, like a chlorine or something like that to them. Some people smell the bottle and it smells like water to them.
Yeah. And taste too. Taste is the same thing. And
so is that related?
Yeah, the more toxic you are, the more it will smell like swimming pool water. And over most, you give it to 10 people, some will say swimming pool water taste, salt water taste, nothing, swimming pool. And the swimming pool water taste goes away. The analogy you were talking about that I mentioned with a aquarium is, I've had fish in an aquarium, and you got gravel at the bottom, you put the fish in, you put the water in, you clean the water, you got the filter running, water's clear as day. And then over time, the filter's running, cleaning, but stuff settles to the bottom and you don't see it. But if you put your arm in the water and you mix up the gravel, the water gets cloudy. It's a mess, right? If you can't even see the fish, all the garbage that sits in there, and you either wait for it to settle back down into the gravel, which you don't want to do, right? You want to get it out. And the only way you get it out, and I've cleaned fish tanks before, is you put a little siphon down at the bottom in the gravel, you suck on the end of it, and the water and the gravel starts going up and the garbage up into the siphon down into a bucket outside of the thing, but the gravel settles back in, but all the garbage goes out, right? So the water level goes down, you're taking out water with the garbage, right? And then you put new water in, and that's what you're doing here. You're getting rid of all that garbage. Most people don't feel the detox happening, but about 10% of people do. But your machine is showing why it's happening.
Yes, I love that analogy. Ever since I was a young child, I've always had reef tanks and fish tanks, so that just like hit home for me.
Yeah.
So that was really amazing. Danielle, do you have anything to add as far as your own testimony, as far as like what you went through with this product?
Yeah, I would love to share. This I came across this because I'd been in a severe car accident. I sustained a brain injury about 10 years ago, and my world stopped. I couldn't focus for extended periods. I had severe pounding in my head. I was dizzy all of the time. I was sensitive to light and noise. And the traditional medical community didn't really have a lot of answers for me. And I know you similarly were on a path with your health, Nima. And, I just kept searching. I kept asking. And my doctors told me after a year, it was just my new normal and I needed to adjust. My body had done the healing it would do. And I thought, there's no way. The body's incredible when you can give it what it needs. And it was actually an acupuncturist that suggested the ASEA to my mom. And she said, listen, I've been using this in my practice. And she said, it's done something different for every single one of my clients. She said, however, it's going in and it seems to be helping them where they need it. Some of them, it's their digestive stuff. Some it's hormonal. And she said, I don't quite understand it, but I have a feeling it would pass the blood-brain barrier. It could potentially help Danielle. And so my mom brought it home very excited. My degree's in biology. And when I saw this stuff and the ingredients said water and sodium chloride, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. For a little while, like 6 months, I was like, this is a scam. There's no way this stuff could do what this lady's saying. But my parents used it and my parents had results with their joints. That gel didn't exist, but even just the liquid. My mom got more mobility in her hands. My dad, 30-year-old knee injury, started to feel better, wasn't having to wear his brace, working out more, not being tired, not feeling like he worked out, even though he ran a lot. And he said, there's something to this. And they dove into the research and they came back to me and they said, Danielle, this is a huge field of science. This is just the only company that's been able to stabilize these molecules. And they said, we believe this is the missing link. Give it 6 months. Let's see what your body can do if it can find the damage, like Dr. Silverman was sharing. And I thought, all right, it can't hurt me, right? It might help me. And I started using it and I didn't have an immediate result. I didn't have a biowell to show me what was going on, right? I didn't feel anything either, but I stayed on it. And the 3rd month, my world started to shift. That pounding that had been relentless for 2 years, it stopped. And I started to be able to concentrate again. And I could follow conversations again. And I had energy. I wasn't having to nap throughout the day. And as I stayed on it, my sensitivities 100% went away. And I'll never forget my cognitive therapist saying to me, Danielle, I've worked with people with your type of injury for 30 years. And she said, I've never witnessed someone have such a rapid recovery so far out from their initial trauma. And she's the one that said, what in the hell is this stuff you started drinking? And she was the catalyst for me. Yeah, because she said, well, my clients need it. And she said, and I need it. She got on it and she got on the phone with Dr. Silverman. And it was actually that conversation that gave me my aha of like, holy cow, this has the potential to help each person where they need it. And I just, I believe we go through things for a reason. And all that journey I went through with my health and my background in biology, and I used to be a teacher, and I thought, wow, how well positioned am I to educate the masses about this and let them know there are options. And this is a safe option to try, and it's going to help them and their family right where they need it. And so I decided to align myself with this company. And I have been educating and sharing about this technology now for over 6 years. And my message has reached around the world, and it went over to Australia and came back now to you, an hour and a half from me, which is so funny how this goes. But the ripple effect is out there. And I'm grateful that you've gotten caught in that ripple and that you are able to show people with this device, what we've been seeing for years, and have to kind of tell people like, just wait, it's happening. You can't feel cellular repair, but with your machine, you can see it. So I just am grateful.
And one thing you just touched base on, I was going to ask you as far as like, how long people should use it, because when I do the scans with the biowell, we're only looking at the energy body, and that's why we can see the shifts really quickly in the energy body. But for it to actually influence and manifest into the physiological system, that takes a little bit more time. So that's what I wanted to ask you, like, is how long should somebody be like taking ASEA or using the cream? Should they use it both together? Or like, what is the best way of using the product to get the best results?
I'll give my thoughts, and then David, I'd love for you to share too. With the gel, it's immediate. We always tell everybody to get the gel because you can have instant gratification knowing that this stuff is real and that it works. Whether you're rubbing it on the vagus nerve and having this like sense of well-being come over you, or it's addressing, the area that you're feeling, or 3 times in 5 minutes. I mean, it's fabulous. Not to mention what it does for your skin. So there's like 100 ways to use this.
I have it on actually right now. Every time I wear it, people are like, oh, your skin looks so good.
Yeah, right? It's like you got that glow. Nice. But the liquid, we know it's working as soon as you drink it. But as far as like feeling it. And I put that in quotes because it's like you're on the system level, waiting to have that moment of going, whoa, something changed here. Maybe 10% of people do 15 in that first week. And I would say after a month, you're at 50, 60% if they follow our guidelines on what to do. At 3 months, that's where we see 90% of people are going, oh, you know what? I can compare back to where I was 3 months ago, and this has shifted and that's shifted. And it's really a remarkable thing. And then people can decide, is this something they want to stay on? I made the choice, like, my injury is not coming back if I stop drinking this, right? It repaired, but I want to be proactive. Having lost my health once, I'm like, well, never again. How can I keep my foundation of my system healthy? If I can keep my cells functioning, I'm good. It's just like why I, eat good food and I exercise. It's like, these are the things that we can do to keep our system optimized. David, anything you want to add?
No, I mean, like exactly the expectations you said are exactly right. If they follow the instructions, and then 90% of people at day 90 are like, wow, this is amazing. And I'll say this, when people go to the doctor with a problem, it didn't just happen unless it was trauma. It had been happening for a long time. And it starts with the human cell. If the cells are healthy, we're healthy. If they're not healthy, you may not feel it, that your pancreas cells aren't functioning properly, but eventually you start getting really thirsty and urinating a lot, and you go to the doctor like, hey, Dr. Silverman, your blood sugars, glucose is 560, you need metformin. These problems are happening along the way. Younger people don't have a lot of issues. Younger people don't have a lot of the chronic problems that older people do because their body is repairing quickly, so it never reaches the surface. So this stuff is liquid gold. I mean, I'll be 62 in a couple months. I don't take any medications. Most of my friends do. I don't even take ibuprofen when I golf. I used to golf once a week. Now I have all the time freedom in the world because this opportunity and this ripple effect creates income and joy and time freedom and all of that. I chose to get involved with the opportunity. Not everybody does. But I golf almost every day and I don't take ibuprofen anymore. And you can see why when the founders turned down the offer from the pharmaceutical company, you're going to meet them. So you're going to meet them on Wednesday. They turned down the offer because that pharmaceutical company was going to take this product, this technology, the patents, the IP, and they were just going to say, hey, we own it. We're going to make it go away because they don't want people's bodies rejuvenating. They want people getting sick so they can take their medications. So it's a very important thing we're doing. It's not a game. I mean, it's a biotech company that chose to market through word of mouth. And I'm glad you're going to meet everybody on Wednesday, Nima.
Yes, absolutely. David, thank you so much for being here. I love your background, by the way. It says a lot about you, the person that you are. I feel your energy, and I commend you for the life path that you've chosen to, educate people on how to be healthy and how to stay, well naturally instead of having to put so much chemicals in their bodies and bringing more issues into themselves. Danielle,
I just want to say ditto. So your younger audience won't know what ditto means. Ditto. Look it up. DITTO. Ditto to you.
The first time I heard that was in Ghost when they said
right.
ditto.
That's right.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for being here today. And I really, really appreciate your time.
Yeah, likewise.
Thanks, Nima.